Oh, shit.
Take a ride with me. Tonight. take a ride with me.
Good morning, Marianas. Great to see you guys out there. Hey, Louisa, good morning. John, good morning. Thanks for tuning in. Man, what a day that was. Man, we've got a lot going on today. There's so much happening. There's names changing all around us. There's cars moving all around us. The news is nonstop, baby. No kidding. And we're going to do our best to try and bring the latest to you right here, right now. 7:28 in the morning here on Wednesday. Is it still Wednesday? Or is it going to be called Melania Day? Is this going to end up being Barren Day? I don't know. We might change it all. Who knows? But one thing that won't change, death and taxes. Wait, taxes might change too. Are they going to get rid of the IRS? I don't know. Maybe I'm okay with that. That sounds like a plan for me. And are they going to change Lau Lau Bay to Lau Lau Brad? I'm not sure. They're still debating that right now. But hey, good morning, Marianas. It is your first look at traffic. And I keep coughing for no reason. Oh my gosh. The Pirates went on a tear last night. We'll get back for a little report on that in just a little bit. But oh my goodness, let's get you your first look at traffic before we get too carried away. That is your overhead look at Saipan. Like, let me pan back. Woo, Saipan, it's so beautiful. I know, there we go. All right, well, let's take a look over here at the trouble spots, typically over at ITNE, the intersection that matters, where connections matter. And looking pretty good over there. Everything on between there and Beach Road, though, not as great. It's a little slow when you go past Napa in either direction. It just happens. And then when you get over there by the intersection, it's just Moida. It is just slow because it's like the Choose Your Own Pathways book. Choose Your Own Adventure book is what's going on with the way they got the lanes all coned off over there. Should we call GPPC and say, hey, how come you can tear up Chalampiao if you can't finish paving Oleai? Jeez Louise. Jeez Louisa. All right, well, let's keep going down Beach Road. And it's looking pretty good just about all the way down. Even over there across from Susupi Beach Park. That's not too bad. How about by the post office? Post office is where things get a little sketchy. And we're not talking about your packages. We're not talking about your package. You keep your package to yourself. You're going to find yourself in trouble, mister. All right. Anyway, we're over there. Everything south of over there by Great Harvest is looking a little bit sketch, especially if you're trying to get north through all that little mumble and jumble. It's Thunderdome on Beach Road, everywhere from Hopwood up to Great Harvest. Yeah, if you don't have a four-wheel drive, you're going to be in trouble. You're not going to be loving it at all. You're not going to be McDonald's level loving it, that's for sure. It's going to be slow in every direction that you go. Let's take a look at some of the other spots over there. Not too bad over there by Guangdong Hardware. And then Chalon Joaquin Doi looking okay. How about everybody's favorite, not favorite, intersection in Dan Dan by Shell Dan Dan? You know, it's not a great place to be usually because of how slow it is, but right now it doesn't look that bad. Traffic in every direction going to be okay. How about over there by San Vicente? Even the drop-off by San Vicente isn't bad. The traffic backup over there by San Vicente Central Park isn't that bad. Look at that. We're doing pretty good, Marianas. All right. Let's go around. Cagman's looking pretty good, too. We'll peel back. We're going to look around the road where it meets up with Middle Road, and that's not bad at all. It's a little slow by Shell, Puerto Rico, but not too bad. That's not too bad. Marianas Heights is usually a little spot where it slows down, and it is slow, actually. Everybody heading north by Power Plant 4, it's a little slow. Not sure what's happening there, but I wouldn't doubt that there may be a bus stop going on. Marianas Heights over there by the intersection, it's a little slow as well. It's probably just because people want to slow down and take a good look at that brand new dealership over there at AK. It is pretty nice. How about at the Navy Hill intersection with Middle Road? It's a little bit slow for folks coming down the hill and every direction by the light, but that looks like a couple of traffic changes will spruce that up quite a bit. Over there by Garapan Elementary School, it is drop-off time on Corporal Darren's Jack Road, so that is going to be slow. I don't know where it changes magically from Orchid Street to Corporal Darren's Jack Road. But it's only like one little stretch right there. That's weird. I wonder why. I think Google Maps needs to fix that so we can honor our fallen hero from one of our local men here. All right. Anyway, well, it's slow over there, and it's slow along Middle Road. It's also slow over there by the NMI Museum. Again, they got that crazy bottleneck over there by the Torres Brothers building. I don't know. That's like the longest construction project, and it's just one little corner of the road. Can't you just fill it and pave it? What is going on? Who is in charge? What is shaking? Well, anyway, this is what the traffic looks like out in front of us right now, and it's moving. It's a little slow coming past us. I mean, at least it's steady. And don't worry about that pavement being uneven. GPPC says, hey, big deal. GPPC, good people pouring concrete. GPPC, good people poor construction. Like, what does GPP stand for? I'm telling you, it is a very slow construction project, and nobody's particularly happy about it, but hey, that's what we got. So that's what we're going to live with. All right, guys. Well, that's your first look at traffic, and we didn't even tell you about the weather today. And I'll tell you what, was not yesterday like the best day? It was like a Hawaii day in Saipan, where it was cool. Even in the heat of the day, it wasn't hot. The humidity was low yesterday, and it was just like nice, cool breeze, roll down the windows. No, you don't need anything. It was just awesome. Anyway, right now it's 80 degrees outside. Humidity is very low at 64 degrees, 64% up at the Saipan International Airport, and that's only going to go down as the day goes on. But we do have weather on the way. Expect some isolated showers today. Other than that, mostly sunny skies with a high near 85 and winds out of the east 11 to 17 miles per hour. That wind's going to pick up a little bit more as we get into the evening and roll into Thursday, where we expect a lot more of the same. Again, high near 85 and the winds 13 to 16 miles per hour, and then it's going to die down a little bit at night. Keep in mind, though, today, tonight, and tomorrow, we have a high surf advisory out there until tomorrow at 4 p.m. Also have a rip current statement out there until 4 p.m. tomorrow as well. So be careful if you're going to be out there on the water, especially if you're going to be on east-facing exposures. That's right. If you're going down the Lau Lau, you mess around down by the reef over there and you get sucked out, hey, that could pull you for a while. Don't try to fight it. Just get out of that rip and swim parallel to the beach and keep yourself safe. We're going to hear more about the weather here at 8 o'clock. Landon Adliff from the National Weather Service. Our meteorologist pal from GUAM is going to be right here this morning on Good Morning Marianas. Just a reminder, our phone lines are open for you today, 789-2323, 789-2323. You can talk about whatever you want. You want to talk about, what do you want to rename? Let's do it. Let's take suggestions. We're not going to call Garapan Garabrad. We know that. I love that, Louisa, though. Lau Lau Bay with B-A-E. That is awesome. Lau Lau Bay. That is just outstanding. I think that's something everybody can kind of get behind. All right, let's see what we got. Yay. 1 second. All right, I just threw it down. I just threw down the gauntlet to a sponsor, a potential sponsor. I just told her that she's going to get more exposure advertising with this show and us than anyone in the Marianas. Oh, yeah, suck it. No, I did. I just sent that message. I was like, there's nobody else. Nobody else gets more exposure based on what we're doing and how we're doing it. It's crazy. It works. We have the numbers to prove it. It's absolutely outstanding. It doesn't matter. You pick it. Newspaper, we're going to beat them. TV, we're going to beat them. Radio, we're going to beat them. Anyone else online? We're going to beat them. Nobody has a bigger platform. Nobody has more reach. Nobody does anything. I'm telling you, I look at these numbers and the price is so good too. That's the best part. You end up you reach way more people doing what we're doing. And you have way more exposure, way more views. And the difference is we can prove it. Like, the guys on TV, the guys on radio, they can't tell you how many people are seeing it. When it comes to the newspaper too, they're great. Again, it's not that they're not a competitor. None of these guys are competitors because we don't do the same thing. There's not a single organization, person, company that's doing what we're doing. They're doing, maybe we might do similar things, but it's not the exact same thing. But this is the one that gets the most, and it's crazy, especially because we can actually prove it. You know, we can show you. You can't see how many people are listening to a radio station. You just can't. But ask around, ask your friends, ask who's listening to the radio. Still a great opportunity for you to advertise with them, but we're doing more. Ask how many of your friends have cable. Just ask around. Ask how many of your friends have cable. It's got to be the people with KFC, or not KFC, the Korean channel and TFC. That's it. You know, nothing else is live that's doing stuff like this. Best opportunity that you can get. It's the best thing. Anyway, so I just sent that message to, as I'm going back and forth with one of our potential sponsors, a great friend. She's super nice. But I'm like, hey, I guarantee you're going to get more than with anyone else. All right. Well, we also are going to give you more opportunities to be up to date with everything that's happening here and around the world, because we get you the latest from the Associated Press every day, and that's about that time right now. So let's get you our latest from the Associated Press.
AP News, I'm Mike Hempen. President Trump is hosting Jordan's king at the White House as he escalates pressure on the Arab nation to take in refugees from Gaza. The meeting comes at a time when Hamas is accusing Israel of violating the ceasefire truce. It is said it is pausing future releases of hostages. Trump says he does not want only small groups of hostages released.
I don't want to do 2 and then we do another 2 in another week and then we do 4 in 3 weeks. No. They either have them out by Saturday at 12 o'clock, or all bets are off.
The president is calling for Israel to resume fighting if all those remaining in captivity are not freed by this weekend. AP's Lisa Dwyer reports on a huge cut to an education department office.
A federal research office that tracks the progress of America's students is being hit with almost $900 million in cuts after Elon Musk's Department of Government Efficiency found no need for much of its work. Industry groups say at least 169 contracts were suddenly terminated, accounting for much of the Education Department's Institute of Education Sciences work. Advocates for students say the cuts could hurt the accountability of America's education system, affecting low-income students and students of color, who historically have fallen behind their peers. Congress gave the Institute about $800 million last year, which is roughly just 1% of the Education Department's annual budget. I'm Lisa Dwyer.
A snowstorm has blown into the mid-Atlantic, causing dozens of accidents on icy roads, prompting school closures and stoking worries about possible power outages. The game was a blowout, but that didn't stop people from watching. Sunday night's Super Bowl averaged a record 127.7 million U.S. viewers across television and streaming platforms. This is AP News. Some incredible discoveries by British treasure hunters.
With metal detectors and patience, amateur treasure hunters unearth pieces of British history. Malcolm Wheel was in a farmer's field with his metal detector when he unearthed a tiny and dirt-covered object. It turned out to be a silver penny, minted during the reign of Guthrum, who was a 9th century Viking ruler of eastern England. Wheel's find was on show Tuesday at the British Museum in a display on the Portable Antiquities Scheme. The government-funded project records thousands of archaeological discoveries made by the public each year. The coin sat alongside a set of 3,000-year-old metalworkers' tools, a 7th century gold necklace, and a signet ring from the reign of Queen Elizabeth I. They have been officially classed as treasure by a coroner and will be offered to local museums. Karen Shamas, London.
I'm Mike Hempen, AP News.
Paradise Dental's giving you the gas. Well, not that kind of gas. You already know that Paradise Dental has the most affordable coverage in the entire Marianas, and now we've got something special just for new customers. And now for a limited time, Paradise Dental is offering free gas vouchers for new signups for their coverage plan. If you sign up for a singles plan, you'll get a $10 gas voucher. If you sign up for a couples plan, that's a $15 gas voucher. And if you sign up for the whole family plan, that's a $20 gas voucher right after your first visit. So hurry down to Paradise Dental and sign up for the CNMI's most affordable dental coverage today. These gas vouchers are limited, and with smiles like these, you know they're gonna go fast.
Hey, I'm Coach Derek Cutting, the owner and founder of Laddie Built Fitness. So no matter who you talk to here at Laddie Built, everyone feels that they are part of a family, part of a group of like-minded people. No one feels judged. No one feels like they're being teased or picked on or looked down upon because maybe they don't know what they're doing. They could be brand new and have no idea what they're doing. They might be overweight or really skinny and feel very self-conscious about themselves. But at Laddie Built, nobody judges here. And if you ask anybody here that might be in better shape than you or even not, but has experience in the gym, they will gladly help you through a workout and teach you a few techniques that can help you. So Laddie Built organically from day one, since the boot camp era, has organically grown this fostered environment of community and being a safe place, but a strong work ethic community of people that want to get work done. All I can say is that I put my heart and soul into it from day one. I treated everyone like that at the boot camp from the very, very beginnings, and everyone at the same time would treat each other like that from the boot camp era as well. And as we grew, as we got into a brick and mortar facility, we got bigger and bigger, I feel like people definitely just take this place as a home, as like their brother and sisters are working out next to them, not their enemy or not their competitor, So organically, it's just the vibe here is different. Everyone feels very, very comfortable, and I love the fact that it happened like that.
This world I see.
Man, that is not exciting at all. I liked it when I heard it, but I think it's a little too slow to come in from a break. Hold on, let's try that again. Let's try it again. How about maybe this one? All right, I guess I can roll with this one. Welcome back, everybody. It is 7:45 in the morning, and you are watching Good Morning Marianas. That's right. Don't worry about those name and voice cracks and all that stuff. Like Peter Brady. Yeah, I know, the Brady Bunch. Well, there are so many changes that have been taking place in the last few days. It's hard to keep up with all of them, but that's what makes this job fun. And one of the things that just happened, military stuff. So, as you know, I was a military guy. I was 11 Bravo, 11 Bang Bang, that's right, infantry with the United States Army. That was a long time ago. I got out in 95. That was like forever ago. But the names of the bases changed after I got out for some of them when they were going through that whole tear down statues and rename stuff and all that other stuff. But Fort Bragg in North Carolina was the home of the 82nd Airborne, and it got changed. I didn't know, actually, it got changed to Fort Liberty, which is kind of I guess it's okay, maybe. But, like, the name change to me, just like, come on, like, this fort's had the same name since the cavalry had horses. And so they just changed it back. Defense Secretary Hegseth just changed the name of Fort Bragg back to Fort Brad. Yes, Fort Brad indeed. Fort Brad indeed. That would be something. I think that would be, I think nobody's going to get behind that, but I do love it. Anyway, so that got changed. So Fort Bragg, I wonder if Fort Benning is next because that's where I went to basic training. Now it's called Fort Moore, and I'll tell you, it's named after Hal Moore. Hell of a hell of a soldier and a hell of a leader. So I'm okay with it, but I don't know if they'll change that. But I think getting rid of Liberty and to replace it back to Fort Bragg makes good sense. Hal Moore is a damn good commander. I mean, I'd like him to have a base name after him for sure, or something specifically. Good morning, Fabian. Great to see you. Great to see you. By the way, Fabian, I've been talking about your museum that you've got in San Antonio, and I want to try to put some folks together so you can go and see that. I know some visiting military folks who are going to be coming back who are interested in seeing you and checking out your place over there. So we'll put that together with you when I find out when they're coming back. But that's going to be something that some folks are definitely interested in. So great to see you, though, this morning. Thanks so much for tuning in. Who else do we got out there over here? Louisa. Eric, great to see you. Great to see you this morning. Thanks for tuning back in again this morning. Great to see you. John William, always great to see you. Tobat Castro. We're going to change Tanapag to Tobat Pag. And then, man, the name changes. Give us what you think your best name change is for Saipan, in keeping with all the name changes that are happening right now. We're not serious. Don't get bent about it. We're not serious. But I do like the idea of changing the spelling to Lao Lao Bay with B-A-E. That is hilarious. That is pretty funny. Speaking of those changes that are happening on the federal side, President Trump, you can see it in the ticker there. He's preparing to executive orders to continue downsizing the federal workforce. That's right, even smaller, but more efficient, maybe. They're going through and they've already did that email to everyone saying, hey, you want to resign? We'll take you. We'll pay you for 8 months, but then you're on your own. I wonder how that's going to turn out, like what's going to get closed and how things are going to get shut down. I think downsizing the government's great. I don't think it's a bad thing at all. How they're doing it, I don't know. I think they're going to end up basically, it seems to me that they're pausing a lot of stuff and then they're going to break stuff down and then rebuild it. It's almost like basic training for the government where they break it down and rebuild it in a leaner version of itself. It kind of seems like how it's going. Hey, Michael, good to see you. Good morning. Thank you for tuning in. Great to see you. So as that's happening, of course, it's getting a lot of people flustered, a lot of people getting upset. And, I think the smart thing to do, the cooler heads thing to do is wait and see how some of it goes. I haven't really seen some bad things out of this yet. It seems like does that have the potential for some creeps getting in there? Probably. But they're there anyway. They're just different types of creeps. So, it's not the end of the world scenario for me. As I'm seeing this stuff unfold, it's just let's continue to see how this stuff works out. It doesn't look terrible. It doesn't look like they're getting rid of things other than things that, especially that excessive spending. But I'm not definitely going to agree with all of it. I mean, I like this hard stance that Trump is taking right now with regards to those hostages with Hamas and Israel. Although that whole thing is kind of a cluster. Good morning, JoJo. Thanks for tuning in. I don't know what he's like. Should we take him serious about this having like the U.S. have something to do with Gaza, like be there? I'm like, dude, I don't think the United States needs to have any ownership over property there in the Middle East. That sounds crazy for me. But here's what I do like. I like he said, hey, we don't want to do these onesie twosies hostage exchanges. Give them all back by Saturday or it's over. The ceasefire is over. I like that hard line. I think that's a great take. But again, some of the things I'm going to like, some of the things I'm not going to like. Like the whole, I don't like limited actions. Like if we're going to go to war with somebody, we got to go all in or nothing. Like I don't like hey, we'll just send a couple of missiles just to say that we are paying attention. I don't like that stuff. If you're going to do it, you got to do it. And if you're not, you're not. Otherwise, you just court chaos, I think. And so that's what kind of been happening. And I think this, at least for that part, I think it's a good idea. I like putting a hard line on that hostage exchange, saying, hey, Get them all back by Saturday or the ceasefire's over. That's it. That's good. I like it. I'm in. I'm down with that that way of going. Anyway, so that's one thing. I don't know. I think that renaming the Gulf of Mexico to the Gulf of America sounds kind of crazy, doesn't it? Like, why? Like, why? Why would you have to do that? Like, it doesn't make any sense to me. It doesn't seem like that is a problem of all the things that are happening. Like, you know what? Now, I did hear this one guy online say that he thinks the whole reason why that's going is because President Biden signed an executive order saying that there's going to be no drilling in the Gulf of Mexico. So what he ended up doing was like, all right, well, we'll just change it to the Gulf of America and problem solved. So if that's why they just changed it, then, okay, I get why he's saying it then, because he's talking about all the drilling and all this other stuff. He says, I took this action in part because, as stated in the order, the area formerly known as the Gulf of Mexico has long been an integral asset to our once burgeoning nation and has remained an indelible part of America. Today, I'm making the first visit to the Gulf of America since its renaming, and as my administration restores American pride in the history of American greatness, it is fitting and appropriate for our nation to come together and commemorate this momentous occasion and the renaming of the Gulf of America. I mean, like, it's not the best impersonation, right? But it says, Elon's making money and so is Trump. Creeps. Brad, only time will tell, but go to Gaza. If you think you won the Vietnam War, go to Gaza if you think so. Yeah. I mean, like, I think Gaza makes no sense for us at all. I mean, like, the United States, I don't think we have any that we should be there, like the idea of having land or anything like that. I just don't get it. But then, like, as the president was saying before he was the president, right? Like, Brad Trump, that's hilarious. Yeah, I liked his take when he was running about, like, hey, I just say let them finish it. Let them finish what they were doing until it's done. I don't think that's a bad thing either. Like, I mean, like, just if you're going to be fighting back and forth, then just let somebody win. And then once that's done, it's over, right? So, like, what they're doing, now they're trying to redistribute the population from Gaza. Again, this is a pretty strong-handed thing. Now they're saying, all right, well, you guys aren't going to be able to stay there. So Egypt, you want to take some. Jordan, you want to take some. Syria, you want to take some. Lebanon, you want to take some. But then that would complete that. And then that part's over with. I mean, I don't know. It looks awful. I've seen all the photos. I've seen videos. I've seen all of it. And save for being there. And it just looks like a terrible situation. And, you know, I guess that's just what needs to happen. Like that's what happened with that the wars between when all the nations attacked Israel and Israel kind of kicked everybody's butt. Then they kind of settled on where they were. Sounded like it was okay, but they needed to have a war, settle it out, and then call it. You don't see missiles going back and forth between Syrian government and the Jordanian government and the Egyptian government and Israel. I say let them knock it out. And especially even with Lebanon. Like, Lebanon's not even control of this terrorist organization that's within their borders. Like, it's not the Lebanese military that is Hezbollah. Like, just crazy. How do you let those guys operate in there? So, I don't know. Not my world. I definitely don't want to be in that. But it goes to that point. The whole idea of having that be in American territory sounds terrible to me. It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make sense. I go with things that make sense to me. That's not one of them. So, but I'm happy with them just getting that over and done with because I'm kind of tired of that story. Really, I think that there's a better solution than what they've had for the last 20 years. That's for sure, because that's not working. And I know it's longer than 20 years, but you know, it's just not. It's just not a good solution where they've got it right now. So hopefully, we'll see something that doesn't involve the United States having land assets in the Middle East, because that's just nuts. Nuts. I'm telling you, it's crazy. All right. Anyway, what else is going on in the world? Well, we could go here locally because there's a local case that's happening. Is this in district court? It should be, right? It's got to be district court case. Yeah. So this is about the Chinese getting them to Guam. That is what they're doing. Trying to those illegal immigration attempts from the CNMI to Guam via boat. And it's only folks from one background. It's the Chinese. Chinese are getting those boats over there from Saipan, hopping on them, and then trying to get over there to Guam, hit the beach and scatter, man. And that's what they're doing. Anyway, so there is a trial now, or at least there's a guy who's accused from here of buying a boat to transport people to Guam. His name is Zhang Li Peng. And he was arrested and charged with conspiracy and aiding and abetting transportation of illegal aliens, conspiracy to defraud the United States, and making a false statement. So here's the thing: they're still kind of weak cases. The department, the U.S. Attorney's Office is trying to find the case or they're trying to legally punish the folks who are hopping on boats and trying to get to Guam illegally. The question is, what if you get them before they even get to Guam? It's not illegal to just go on a boat and be out in there in the water. Sure, that was their plan, but what if they just say, hey, we're going out fishing, or we're just going on a boat ride, right? So what do? So they're trying to come up with this charge called conspiracy, and then they're trying to say, they're going to aid and abet. So they need to have proof that these guys are doing what they're doing, right? That what they're accused of doing, which is trying to get to Guam. So how do they do it? What they really need is to have a new law passed, and so that they can prosecute it. But it's got to be a federal law because that a local law would only work in the local courts. So how would they go about doing this? So one of the things that they're trying to do is conspiracy, and that means having other people document those conversations, or having some video of money being passed, or money being passed between the person buying the boat and then the person who's got the boat or providing the services on the boat to the people who are going to be transported. They don't really have a whole lot else to do on that. And if your boat breaks down in the water and you're on your way to Guam and you are not a U.S. citizen and they say, hey, give me your phone. Do you have to? No. Right? I mean, what are you being arrested for? A broken down boat. What were you guys doing? We were on the water. Like, it seems like a really defensible thing if you're one of those guys, right? Yeah, I mean, you could be like, you got me. You got me. If you're going with like all of your luggage, that's probably not a great sign. But still, you're asking a lot. That's kind of a leap for a jury to go with you on that one, right? So, hey, you end up like the guy on the Jerky Boys. I brought all my shoes and my glasses, so I have them. I'm like, so I mean, that could be the answer. Why do you have all of your stuff? So I have them. I don't feel secure if I don't have all my stuff with me at all the times. I mean, that could, and if that's the answer, can you charge them? So what are they going to go with? So in this one, they're going with like providing false information and documents to immigration enforcement officers. Okay. Well, what is it? They planned on arriving in Guam. And so that's it. Planning to arrive in Guam at a place other than a designated point of entry in violation of, Title 18 and all this other stuff. Okay. So that could be it. But how do you know? If they don't tell you that's what they're going and that's what they're doing, how do you prove it? That's it. So that's what they have to prove. These guys really just got to stick to their guns. I mean, he told them he bought the boat to start a fishing business, and he didn't plan on going to Guam. So he said what he said. How is that going to play out in court? Now you're going to get a local jury that would listen to that and say, yeah, but come on. I mean, literally, if you could see all the people in the jury pool just go like this at the same time, come on, who are you trying to fool? But I don't know that you're going to be able to convince somebody beyond reasonable doubt that that's what they're doing. Say, but everyone else is doing it. I don't know. That's why they need a different law. They need a different law to help them out, because the guys who are prosecuting, the men and women of the United States Attorney's Office, don't have the tools they need to properly, prosecute these kind of cases, because the United States doesn't have a law necessarily that works great in these cases. Maybe with the new administration they will. Maybe it'll be more of a priority for them. But we'll see. By the way, so as we have that happening, as we have actual cases that are in our federal court, as that's happening, we have got to look like, what was it? Sybil. That's a deep cut. That's a deep cut. That's that movie with that schizophrenic lady who had all the multiple personalities and all that stuff, right? So we, as the CNMI, have to look like we have multiple personalities, because we don't have one take on anything. Here we are facing Guam, our neighbors, our fellow territories, are facing an immigration issue, an illegal immigration issue, because of our immigration policies here, that our ability to have people in from different countries. But then they're taking boats, buying boats, and trying to get to Guam illegally. And then we're going to Department of Transportation saying, hey, give us more. Is that fair? I don't know. Because these people don't just grow on trees. The people who are immigrating, they didn't just crawl out of the ground. They got here by plane, right? But, it happens in the U.S. too. They let lots of people in. Okay, fine. But we're not looked upon the same as the folks in the U.S. And yes, seems like they've got a hell of an immigration issue over there. No kidding. But we have one. I mean, people aren't illegally coming to Saipan unless they were trying to work at the hotel as construction workers, tourists. But other than that, people are pretty much flying here, doing their touristy thing, and then leaving. It's the ones who have been here for a long time, or the ones who came in and, overstayed, and then with the plan of heading to Guam. I don't know. It's not like we got people streaming over the border here or something like that. It's not the same situation as the mainland, but it's something that we definitely need to address. And I don't know how we do that. I don't know how we can talk with a straight face to the folks in D.C. to tell us that, hey, yes, we're on board for all this, but we also need China. There's nobody that we could pull that off with. Who would listen in the mainland? Just put yourself in a different position. Put yourself in a different situation. Forget about the economy. Forget about everything else, right? Let's not make this a political thing or whatever. But if you're in the mainland and there's some little island chain that you haven't heard of before, which is sadly the case for most people in the States, they haven't heard of anything out here. Unless they watched the movie Dodgeball and heard the word Guam, or they served in the military and heard of Guam. They're going to say, hey, we've got a chain of islands out there that have little different immigration, but there's there are people from our adversaries who are able to go to one territory who are buying boats and trying to get to our other territory, where we've got three main bases. It's our real outpost in the Pacific. They're going to say, hell no, cut off that flow now. They're not going to be like, oh, well, they need them for tourists. They're going to say one thing about China. There's going to be one word in front of the word China, and it starts with an F and ends with a K, and it's not fire truck, because they are not going to be on our team for this. You are really trying to you are Sisyphus. You are trying to push that boulder up the hill. It's not going to work. It's going to fall on deaf ears, or it's definitely going to be on unsympathetic ears. Just my guess. Unless there's some wheeling and dealing that takes place, maybe it will. Who knows? Maybe it's not a big deal. But that's That's my view of how it's got to be for folks there looking at us over here. So it's like, what are you telling me? How is that possible? How is it possible? And that we're so caught up arguing with ourselves about it over here. It just doesn't seem like it makes sense. It just seems like we actually look worse about it. Okay, let me say okay to Brandon, or Landon. Oh my God, I said that a bunch. Landon Aylet, he's about 5 minutes away from being good to go with our weather update here for the Marianas. He's got information. He reached out yesterday. He's like, hey, big deal. Weather's going to be crazy. He's got to talk about some rain info. Not sure what that's going to be. So you don't want to miss that for sure. He said, why did they take away our immigration again? All right, good question. And then you said, we're like a black site of America. So why did they take away our immigration? Well, Alan Stamen, I don't remember his actual job title. Hold on one second. Let me put that in here. Alan Stamen. Bum, bum, bum. Wow, that's funny. He was with the Interior. Hold on, let me find out where he was at. He was a member of the Energy and Natural Resources, but he dealt with the territories. And I met him when he came out here, and he spoke to us over at NMC. I'm on his LinkedIn right now. His official title is Professional Staff at the U.S. Senate Committee on Energy and Natural Resources. His About section says, Alan has worked for 20 years as a professional staff member in the U.S. Senate, handling issues regarding energy, efficiency, and insular areas. He also served as the Deputy Assistant Secretary at the Department of the Interior, a special negotiator at the office, and office director at the State Department, and as a policy analyst for the Alliance to Save Energy. All right, so here's what he said. When he came and spoke to our current events class at the college, he said that it was always the plan to assert United States immigration over the Marianas. Always was a plan. But they lost track of it. They did. They lost track of it when we got involved in different conflicts. And so that was what he said. It was always the plan, so that when they actually did it, it wasn't a hard thing for them to do. Now, but what ended up happening years ago, they made this big deal about labor. They said it was a labor abuse issue and not paying people enough money. And then they sent people to Congress saying they're only paying us $3.05 an hour and that we're treated like slaves and all this stuff. But here's the thing. It was so disingenuous. Like, I wish we would have had somebody go there and speak up for us that's just called BS on those people who went to Congress. Because, sure, they were getting paid $3.05, but so was every local employee who was making minimum wage. The difference is those contract workers were also getting paid housing. They were getting paid health insurance. They were getting their meals taken care of. You know, they were making more than local workers. Now, our minimum wage was so low that it was shocking to the folks in Congress when they heard that stuff. And they're like, well, we gotta fix this right away. And you guys need to get to federal minimum wage, and this is how we're going to do it. So they gave us, it was a graduated process over the years, and we eventually are now at the federal level for minimum wage. But they also said, oh, they told me I was only coming over as a waitress. No, you were coming over to be a hoe. I'm sorry. Like the girls working for a strip club. You know what you were coming over for. These guys who came over to recruit you, you knew what you were doing. They'll come over and tell me, oh, no. No. It's not what happened. It was all this, I had no idea they took it. No, they didn't. No, they didn't. It's not what happened at all. And because of that, they used those things as a rallying cry to get us to lose our immigration. And it was a shame. It really was a shame. I'm tell you what, I am going to add him. Yeah, I'm going to add him on LinkedIn, the one that nobody uses. But believe me, people do message me on LinkedIn just to see if we can't get a Maybe we can get him on the show. It's not going to happen today. Don't get excited. But I'll tell you what can happen. We are going to get Landon on with us here. We're going to call him now. We're going to get our camera ready. Dun, dun, dun. We're going to share the screen with you here in a second, too. Uh-oh, there he is. Hold on. I got to change the camera angle a little bit so you can at least see me.
All right.
So I went through today, by the way, to set this camera up so you can see me. Let me see if I'm going to be blocking my camera. Oh, no. If I just take this thing off. Is that out of the way? It's kind of out of the picture. It's kind of there. That's all right. It's off there a little bit. But anyway, good morning, Landon, all the way from Guam. We have you on the phone with us. Oh, my gosh. You've got fireworks going on in the background and everything. What is going on in your office?
What happened? Oh, my gosh.
What happened?
It's like a...
That was crazy.
I've never seen that before.
Dude, that is absolutely wild. That was wild. Wait, what did we say? Is it because of what we said? Do you think that was voice activated?
Good morning. How are you doing?
Yeah, welcome, Landon. Fireworks.
Really
Let's go
not.
crazy. Very nice. No.
I don't know how that happened.
We can't repeat it. We're not sure what happened. But anyway, we've got you on with us right now. You're all the way in Guam. Somehow you have a connection in your office, and it's great to see you. How's everything going on down there in Guam?
Well, you mentioned that connection, and let me show you what I'm dealing with right now.
Oh, no. Something went
So apparently,
wrong.
our internet has been down for the last 5 or 6 hours. They're doing some work in Hawaii. And when we lose internet at a region in Hawaii, it sometimes affects every office in the region. And so we've been down for a while, but our weather network is still working fine. So we're still pulling in data and observational information. So we're still operation. So that's good.
All right. So you sent me this message yesterday. I mean, Wednesday's our day. It's like coffee with Landon. Weekday mornings.
Yeah.
But you said you got some rain info. Oh, nice. Did you make that yourself?
No, I did not. I actually bought it. Somebody made it on Guam, and I would love to see a lot more stuff like this on the island. It's phenomenal.
Man, when you come back to Saipan, we have them. People make them here.
That's so cool. I love that.
Yep. All right. So,
But yeah.
so tell us a little bit about what's going on weather-wise.
Yeah, rainfall. I know somebody reached out to you last week about rainfall information. I think there used to be a gauge near Kagman area, but right now that gauge is not available. But the Saipan Airport, that is the official rainfall recording information for Saipan. And so they can find that information on our webpage. And if they need to be walked through where to find the climate information, I can definitely help with that.
Awesome. Yeah, that was last week when you were talking about all that. And I think it was Tobot who reached out and was asking about that. So
Okay. Oh, yeah, I can talk with Tobot.
nice. But so I'll tell you what, yesterday was such a beautiful day. It was like a Hawaii day where the sun was out, but it was cool. And I mean, if you were just standing somewhere, maybe like in an area where there was no wind, but it was generally breezy. And it was not a warm breeze. It was a nice, cool breeze. I could not believe it. In the heat of the day, it wasn't hot.
And that's the theme of this whole week, and actually the last couple of weeks. We had that shear line come through the islands. And so where is it right now? That's that boundary right here. So that dropped down over Saipan and Tinian around Saturday, brought some showers and some gusty winds and a lot of clouds. But then, like most bad relationships, it started breaking up as it made its way down to Guam. And so it lost a lot of its influence, and we didn't get much rain out of it. So you like that, didn't you?
Yeah.
But behind the shear line is drier, cooler air. Not so much colder like a cold front in the States, but it's drier. The dew points are cooler. And so if you go swimming at the ocean, you get out of that water, you have a little bit of a chill. And so that's what we like about this time of year. When these shear lines drop down over the islands, it really feels phenomenal outside. And you can open up your windows and let the air blow through your house.
And that's exactly what we did. It was just wonderful. And being out and about yesterday, working and everything, running from place to place, it was just so nice. And Luisa is up here. She's saying it was cold last night at the ball field. We had a makeup game. getting wrapped up, and it was cold there. Tobot was saying, he's like, yeah, last night was pretty nice, but it made me hurt. Those aches and pains creeping up with the cold weather.
Yeah, when you go up and down the steps, your knees might start popping and cracking a little bit. And tis the season, it's winter. And this is as bad as our winters get, or as good as they get, depending on your preference. But the temperature feels phenomenal outside. This is the one of the few times that you can actually wear layers or bundle up with a blanket outside.
Yeah, it could definitely happen that way. Now, I'm looking at that map of Saipan you were zooming in. I don't know if you read any of the changes that are happening, but they renamed it from Lau Lau Bay to Landon Bay, just in honor of you. Yep.
Is that with the change to the Sea of America to our west?
Yeah, the Sea of America and and the Pacific Ocean.
Yeah, that's about it. We better not get too many rumors circulating. People might panic.
I
But
love
yeah,
it.
beautiful weather out there. We might get some spotty light showers and some of these heavier clouds, but this is the theme for today, tonight, tomorrow, the next couple of days. Fair weather with northeast, east northeast trades. They'll be pumping across the region through the weekend. But the main concern right now are those continued sea, surf, and water related hazards. We have that large, long period north swell coming from the north, the trade wind swell coming from the east northeast, and that's generating those larger swell and waves at the beach. So be careful if you're at the beach this weekend. The currents will be stronger than typical, and if you're out on the waters in a boat, it's going to be a little bit of chop out there. So play it safe, don't become a statistic, and keep up to date with weather conditions and advisories.
Yeah, we keep paying attention to them because there seems to be a whole lot of them lately. Like maybe we had a day off and then all of a sudden it's back again.
Yeah, that's exactly it. So the winds are probably going to subside just a little bit early next week, and so we'll see some of the winds and seas subside and maybe drop the advisories. But then we could see another shear line come close to the region, and even if this one's a weaker one and doesn't make it as far south as the Mariana Islands, those waves coming down from behind that shear line will eventually reach it, and so that will keep seas coming up maybe mid to late next week. So this is the season for winds and seas and surf. So it's going to be a semi-present occurrence here.
Well, we'll take it. I mean, we're definitely enjoying it, and hopefully, does that mean that the overall when it's cool like this for us, does that mean like the ocean temps are going down too, and maybe we're gonna have a nice calm year?
Yeah, they're going to be going down just a little bit, and not too much. We typically see the buoys start reading temperatures around 84, 83, 82 degrees. Uh, During the summer months, there are warmer times of the year. It gets upwards of 86, 87 degrees. So those few degrees make a big difference, especially when you have cooler air outside.
Now, do you guys measure also of all the study, all the things you're monitoring, the wave height, wind, and all that? Do you guys have anything that detects like the salinity of the or the salt level of the ocean?
You know, I think there's some agencies out of Hawaii that detects that, and I had that question come up a couple weeks ago in a conversation. We do not track and monitor salinity, but I think there's a University of Hawaii, an organization there that they do track that.
All right. Well, because I just seems like I floated a lot easier. That could just be I'm getting fatter. So, but I want to blame it on the salt level of the ocean. So that could be it. But I was just laying out.
Yeah, we'll go with that.
Yeah, let's go with that. I was literally laying out at Pow Pow on Sunday. I'm like, this is just awesome. Like, I could literally just fall asleep here while I'm floating, laying out here. It was awesome.
See, that's so nice. And my computer just blacked out. I don't know if I moved a cord, but yeah, it's pleasant when you can do that, and the waves are like sloshing over your body.
No,
That's a win-win.
it was nice. And again, it wasn't hot. Like, the water wasn't even very hot. We took a cool little
Yeah.
hike down to a different part outside of Bird Island that was wild, and then got down in the water. It just a great trip. So anyway,
Yeah, we got to keep in mind those winter time concerns in the states where it's chilly and cold and snow. You can go dehydrated, even though you don't feel thirsty. You're not aware you're thirsty, but you can go dehydrated. Similar to here, if it's cool and sunny, it feels great outside. But at the same time, you might be getting burned with all the abundant sunshine. So keep that in mind. Be safe with the skincare, but also enjoy the weather too.
Yeah, I definitely got some of that sun. It was great. Anyway, anything new? Any brother projects that you guys have going on?
Well, we are going to be doing a project with the Anderson Elementary School sometime in March. They're celebrating or recognizing Month of the Military Child. And so we are brainstorming kind of a small scale event with Anderson Air Force Base Elementary School. And we're going to do something just to recognize the Dodea kids. Otherwise, we are still on par with our October Tower at the Guinness Shopping Center. So those are the two events we have this year. And then the world record attempt that we're going to start spinning up this summer for the February build at the Micronesia Mall.
Maybe you got to get those
So
kids
mark
in
your calendar.
formation, and you can get like a good cadence going. Ready? Rain and sleet
Oh,
and sun
we
and
hope
snow. We'll be prepared wherever we go. You know, whatever it is, you guys can knock that out.
Oh my gosh.
I'll be-
Discipline.
Yes. You don't like what? You don't like the rain? Get down and beat your face. All right. Anyway, so hey, Landon, thanks again for joining us and for keeping us up to date on everything that's happening with our weather and everything that's going down there in Guam. And look forward to having you on like all the time. It's really great to have you.
Yep. I will see y'all next week. If you saw the weather outlook that we put out yesterday, I will be off island the next 2 weeks. I'll be somewhere in the mid-Atlantic coast. I'll be all over the place. So I'll see you from some unknown location next Wednesday.
All right. Well, we'll look forward to it.
Yeah, I'll see if you can guess the state.
I'm guessing Mid-Atlantic is probably similar to where you were before, but it might actually be a little bit north there this time. So,
It could be.
all right. Well, we'll look forward. We're playing Where in the World is Landon San Diego? So, all right. Thanks again, Landon. Really appreciate it. Thanks for being on with us today.
See you all.
All right. That's Landon Aylett. He is our meteorologist pal down there in Guam, letting us know everything that's happening weather-wise in the CNMI and beyond, and letting us know about what's going on with that weather and why it was so nice. And not that it's not normally nice. I mean, it's normally pretty nice anyway, but it was definitely like especially nice the last few days. All right. Well, we do have new updates, by the way, from Associated Press. And that was the 7 a.m. that we played earlier. And we also have Today in History. We still got to give some more love to our sponsors. I know we had a little bit of a sponsor run earlier, but we're going to circle around and get those wagons as well. But before we get to the sponsors, let's get you the latest update from the Associated Press. We're only a few minutes off. It's okay. We wanted to hear Landon instead, but here you go.
AP News, I'm Mike Hempen. A storm system is hitting the mid-Atlantic states, covering roads with snow and ice, and leading to school closures and worries about possible power outages. National Weather Service senior meteorologist Brian Hurley says several areas could get many inches of snow.
A lot of areas with 4 to 6 inches of snow, including the D.C.-Baltimore area. D.C.-Baltimore farther north might be 4 to 5 inches, and then areas farther south, like towards Fredericksburg, Virginia, we could be looking at anywhere from 6 to 8 inches or even more.
The rain and ice mix is expected to become all rain as temperatures climb by Wednesday afternoon. President Trump is insisting the U.S. can take and develop Gaza once Palestinians are out.
President Trump is doubling down on his suggestions that the U.S. can control and redevelop Gaza after it's emptied of Palestinians. It's an audacious plan to essentially remake the Middle East, and the president says it wouldn't cost the U.S. a thing.
We're not going to buy anything. We're going to have it, and we're going to keep it.
In the Oval Office,
Take it under what authority? It is sovereign territory.
Under the U.S. authority.
without saying what that is. The president spoke alongside Jordanian King Abdullah, whose nation and others in the Arab world would likely have to agree to accept more Palestinian refugees for the plan to work. The president yesterday suggested he might withhold U.S. aid to Jordan, Egypt, and others if needed, as a way of pressuring them to take more Palestinians. But today,
I don't have to threaten that. I think we're above that.
And reveled in saying a newly rebuilt Gaza would be exciting for Palestinians.
I did very well with real estate. I can tell you about real estate. They're going to be in love with it.
Sagar Magani, Washington.
This is AP News. New York City Mayor Eric Adams is vowing to regain public trust. as the Justice Department moves to halt the criminal corruption case. In his first public comments since federal prosecutors were ordered to drop his case in a taped address, Mayor Adams said he did nothing illegal.
I never ask anyone to break the law on my behalf or on behalf of my campaign. Never. And I absolutely never traded my power as an elected official for any personal benefit.
Officials say if the case is dropped, Adams would be freed up to assist in the Trump administration's immigration crackdown. And despite the game being a blowout, Sunday night's Super Bowl averaged a record 127.7 million U.S. viewers across television and streaming platforms. I'm Mike Hempen, AP News.
Paradise Dental's giving you the gas. Well, not that kind of gas. You already know that Paradise Dental has the most affordable coverage in the entire Marianas, and now we've got something special just for new customers. And now for a limited time, Paradise Dental is offering free gas vouchers for new signups for their coverage plan. If you sign up for a singles plan, you'll get a $10 gas voucher. If you sign up for a couples plan, that's a $15 gas voucher. And if you sign up for the whole family plan, that's a $20 gas voucher right after your first visit. So hurry down to Paradise Dental and sign up for the CNMI's most affordable dental coverage today. These gas vouchers are limited, and with smiles like these, you know they're gonna go fast.
For every generation, it has started with the call to serve. Discovering the purpose and the belonging earned with the title. Learning to dig deep and push through adversity together. Defending our nation and its people. It is a life of great worth and reward. But Marines are never really finished serving. Their commitment comes full circle, visible in communities across our country. This is Semper Fidelis, always faithful, always Marine, marking a path for the next generation.
Hi, I'm Bea. Please come and join me as we explore the delicious and delectable dishes at My Teppanyaki over here at Crown Plaza Resort, Saipan. Starting January 30, My Teppanyaki is open to the public, to you and I. The dining experience is called Weekend Dining for All, available every Thursday, Friday, and Saturday from 6 o'clock to 9 o'clock p.m.
I want to maybe have the feeling of being in Japan, but we're still in Saipan. You know, we sit down, we relax, maybe a glass of sake, maybe a glass of wine, Asahi beer. We're going to stick to the roots. We're not going to do any fusion. We're not going to do it. It's going to be live cooking in front of you with a Japanese taste. You got a whole bunch of sauces. I think there's 6 different kinds of sauces. You know, this comes right from Japan. We're the only ones that are doing teppanyaki right now. We've been running this program since November, and it was very, very successful with everybody. So I have no doubt that we're going to be successful moving on. We invite everybody to come down, check us out. We're working 6 to 9, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. And you know, if you want to make reservations and you want to have a special booking or a special party, just give us 24 hours in advance if it's not on a Thursday, Friday, or Saturday. And we'll see if we can open it up just for you.
So all of this starting at $95 per person. It starts with an appetizer, miso soup, the main dish. Oh, let's not forget the salad. And later on, we'll expect a dessert. Don't do that at home. experience here at My Teppanyaki is not only just about eating, it's an experience. It's all about eating delicious food made especially for you and right in front of you. And in conclusion, if you're gonna ask me, the food here in My Teppanyaki will make you say, "Get in my belly." So this has been Bea and cameraman Hiroshi Nishikawa for NMI News Service. Arigato gozaimasu.
All right, Marianas, welcome back. It is 8:32 a.m. here on a beautiful Wednesday morning, and we just heard all about what the weather is going to be like from Landon Aylett. That's right, our meteorologist from the National Weather Service down there in Guam, giving us an update on everything that's coming our way weather-wise. Yeah, Lau Bea, after seeing that My Teppanyaki video. My Teppanyaki, that was a great experience. I know. I wish I could have been there and enjoyed it as well. We're going to have, I was not able to go because we had the Marianas Business Network in. They're going to be in here again a week from now on Thursday for our next round of SIP Happens. And that's going to be, that was a blast when we did it last time. We're going to be doing it again in a bit. Again, thousands and thousands of people have watched it already, and we're happy with the way it turned out because it ended up being a lot of fun. But it was great to see how many people ended up enjoying it also, because again, a lot of people ended up seeing it. And so if you're one of them, awesome, that's great. I'm glad you were there. All right, so let's talk about what else is going on. And I saw in the questions, it's like, hey, what are your ideas about that trade commission thing from yesterday? And it was the other day, and I did not go to it, just scheduling conflicts. I couldn't, otherwise I would have been there. But then they had the thing yesterday where they were at the legislature. And unless it's something that's going to be put out, like I wasn't going to be able to get quality audio off of it because it just sounds like you're in a warehouse or something. But if something like that, a meeting like that, should have been broadcast on the legislature's channel, I'm not sure why they didn't do it. I think that it was a mistake. So I'm going to reach out to the House and to the Senate to say, hey, when you guys have meetings like that, what would prevent you from broadcasting that? Because it's something that people would probably be interested in. I don't know. I have a lot of. I'm pessimistic, I guess, or maybe I'm just cautious with these guys because I don't know that there's anything that legitimizes them yet. The Free Trade Zone Authority. It would be cool if the governor does make something happen, but just because a couple of guys decide that, hey, we're starting this thing and that's it, unless it's being started, through the governor and everything with the blessing of the CNMI government, I don't think it goes anywhere. I think it falls on its face. And so that's just where I'm at. And I'll tell you, I'm cautious. If the guy was sitting here right now, I'd say the same thing. I met him and, seemed pleasant enough. But when people change their name, it always gives me a bit of a red flag. I don't know why. And especially it would be more fair to have this conversation with him here. But if I change my name to Brad Lexus, I think that you would probably be like, okay, something's weird with that guy. Or something's off, maybe a red flag, maybe your spidey sense tingles. So I'm not into the Bitcoin stuff. So this seems like a Bitcoin-ish kind of relationship that, I'm not into it. What does this have nothing to do with Bitcoin? I know, but you're part of that kind of, if you're into that blockchain kind of stuff, then you're into this stuff. And I just don't see any of that as being a good idea. Again, I know just a little bit about it. I think that I would probably prefer somebody who's people who would run something that, if it has this real potential for us, folks that would be here running it that are been here a little bit longer, people that you actually know. people who have like a history of credibility here in the CNMI. Because right now, I don't think that the guys who are involved in that, and I don't know all of them, I certainly don't. I know one guy named Mike, and a couple other guys are in it. That's it. And so I can't throw any support. I have definitely thrown some shade on it in conversations with friends. Like, who the F are these guys? Except for Mike. Like, I know him. Like, I'm like, who are these guys who are just going to, just set this up on their own? Maybe they're awesome. I don't know. I haven't had the conversation with them. I haven't heard it from them at all. But it seems if it can help the CNMI, then I'm all for it. If it's a good thing for us, I'm all for it. But as with the little bit that I know of it now, I'm just not comfortable with it. So that's the best I can say. Like, that's as nice as I could say about it. But like, it's not my world. I don't know enough about it. I think if there's a missed opportunity, and these guys are bringing it to the forefront, and they could do some good things for the CNMI, I say great. So it's 1 second. Yeah, and that these guys are picking up names and stuff like that. I just don't know these guys enough to say that I would put any trust into them. I can't say I don't trust them, but because I don't know them enough either way, other than to say, like, when you choose your own name, that to me already says something to me. I'm not saying that's fair either. It's not fair. I'm just telling you that's my reaction. How can I get myself out of that? I don't know. I think I got to get to know these guys more and know more about them. Good morning, Jamel. Thanks for tuning in. Great to see you. Jimbo, great to see you too. Yeah, I saw that. But I guess maybe it's like, I don't know. It is just like, who do I think would be the best people for it? I don't know. I don't know. I think people more connected to the businesses here are probably a better source for, or a more legitimate source of ownership, I guess, if you will, to me. That's it. Someone who's been here for a couple of years. I don't know. It goes to my thing about, like, just being in the CNMI, that just being here for a while gets you some kind of street cred. There's how many people do we know that come and go that have said, "Oh man, this is my second home. Oh, I think of this as my home," and they're gone in like 6 months. I mean, this guy's not been here 6 months, but or these guys, they've been here longer, right? But so being here for a while, and what's the right amount of years where that feels normal? I don't know. Once you see people out and about and what they're doing and how they contribute and all that stuff, that's it. It's a smell test. That's it. It's just a smell test. This is not steeped in any dealings with anybody who's involved in this. And it's like, it just doesn't, like, something seems a little bit off to me, and maybe they make a believer out of me. I don't know. I think I just need to know more about it. Maybe I just need to give them a fair shot to really, to pitch it, here and reach out to them. I know guys who know those guys. Like, I don't really know them. So maybe I'll reach out to them. Yeah, you know what? That's what I'm going to do. In fact, hold on 1 second. I want to send a message to someone right now who could put us maybe in the same room and maybe get them into this one. 1 second. Before you go, I'm just sending out this message first. I'll tell you what, while I send this message, let's do this. So you don't have to watch me type a message. We already started talking about all the updates from the AP and everything like that. So we're getting you up to date with everything that's happened. Let's get you up to date with something else. As they say, if you those who are not familiar or are not aware of their history are doomed to repeat it. Something like that. Something along those lines. Anyway, let me give you a little clip from the Associated Press called Today in History.
February 12th, 1809.
77 years ago, our fathers brought forth on this continent a new nation,
President Abraham Lincoln, who led a divided United States through the Civil War, is born in present-day Kentucky. Lincoln, who opposed slavery, signed the Emancipation Proclamation and delivered the Gettysburg Address. Also that same year, Charles Darwin, the naturalist who developed the theory of evolution by natural selection, is born in England. 1999. In Washington, the Senate acquits President Bill Clinton of perjury and obstruction of justice charges over the Monica Lewinsky scandal.
I want to say again to the American people how profoundly sorry I am for what I said and did to trigger these events and the great burden they have imposed on the Congress and on the American people.
1909. The NAACP, one of America's leading civil rights organizations to this day, is founded in New York City. And 2000. Charles Schulz, the cartoonist who created Charlie Brown, Snoopy, and the rest of the Peanuts gang, dies in Santa Rosa, California. He was 77. Today in history, February 12th. Mike Gracia, The Associated Press.
All right, well, mission accomplished there. At least you guys got that update. Just reached out to someone who's in those circles with those guys from the Free Trade Zone. So thanks for bringing that up to see if we can't get them on and talk about it a little bit. And yep, so they just said yes, they're going to reach out to them to help put us together. And that way, I'll tell you, so, you know, I gave you what my first blush is on it, right? And that's honest. You know, it's nothing I wouldn't say to anybody else. That's just my first take on it. And again, it's a pretty ignorant take because I'm not up to date on all that stuff, and I definitely don't know everybody who's involved with it. So to go about improving on that, why not see if we can't get them on here to give us the spiel? You know, let us know what's going on. Let us know what that whole thing is all about and what their take is. Maybe get to know them a little bit better and feel better about that whole thing. Can't do worse than that. I mean, that's you could do worse than that, I should say. You could do a lot worse than being open-minded and want to hear from them directly. So I think that's the way forward for us on this. And this way, you can decide for yourself. Once you hear from them directly, you'll be able to decide, you know, what do you think about it? You know, I can only tell you what I think about it for right now. And where it goes from there, who knows, right? So let's take it from there. Sound like a deal? Ready? Hands in. Ready? Break. There we go. All right. All kinds of talk about the Super Bowl, free agency, what's going to happen with the league next year, what's going to happen with your teams and all that stuff. So we'll see how that goes. I don't know. I think I'm over the Super Bowl already. I'm over hearing about all of the updates and what happened and who did it and why and all that. So I guess we're going to have to find a new sport to like. I guess like Major League Baseball's okay, but it's like too early in the year for that. Basketball, I don't really care. I don't really care about the NBA. It's not that exciting. Well, thanks, Tobot. Appreciate it. Oh, yes. Playoffs do start tonight for the majors. All right, so, hey, awesome. Hold on one second. Ooh, all right. Sorry, I'm getting a barrage of messages here. And here, let me give you the first one. This is hot off the presses from MVA. This is about the this weekend, the Pika Fest over there in Tinian. It says private boat operators are stepping up to support the 21st annual Tinian Hot Pepper Festival this month with boat rides available between Saipan and Tinian for the festivities. The festival will be February 14th and 15th. Wenyul Boat Charter and Pescadufas Pika Fest charters are offering one-way transport for $50 a person and round trip for $80 per person. Wenyul Boat Charter will operate on February 12th to the 16th. Pescadufas will operate the 13th to the 15th. Both boats will depart Saipan at 8 a.m., 11 a.m., 2 p.m., and 5 p.m. Boats will depart from Tinian 9:30, 12:30, 3:30, and 6:30. Passengers must check in with the boat 20 minutes before departure, and you can carry a maximum of 40 pounds. Carry-on and cargo is allowed, maximum of that per person. Cannot bring a dog, though. If you want more information, if you want more information, or if you want to purchase a seat, you can contact James Roberto of Piscadufus at 285-3110 or Wenyole Boat Charter at 989-8785 or 989-0611. Piscadufus is going to be leaving out of Smiling Cove. Wenyole is going to be departing from Garapan Fishing Base. Liquid Culture also providing boat transport February 15th and 16th for the same price. Liquid Culture will depart from Saipan on the 15th and 16th. Why the 16th? At 7 a.m., 10 a.m., and 2 p.m., and 5 p.m., and return from Tinian at 3:30, 6:30. On February 16th, the boat will depart Smiling Cove at 8, 11, 2, and then return from Tinian at 9:30 only. So make that boat, or you got to float. I guess that's it. Now, one-way flights between Saipan and Tinian on February 15th and 16th on Star Marianas will be $55 for CNMI residents with valid photo ID. Also, the airline will be extending their scheduled flights by 1 hour on February 14th, 15th, and 16th. Charter flights may also be arranged by contacting Star Marianas at 433-9996, 9997, or 9998. You can also email them at smareservation2015@gmail.com. Now, this year's festival will also include an independently organized Pika Fest Cornhole Tournament. It's $50 if you want to get in there. Now, what does that mean if it's independently? Does it mean it has nothing to do with the tournament? Anyway, registration is open at the Scoreholio app at 2 p.m. at the festival grounds. So I wonder who's making the money off of that one. Anyway, that's there. By the way, so it's either $50 each way on the boat or round trip for $80, or you could just pay $55 each way. I think I'm paying the extra $5 each way so that I can get there back and forth pretty quick and easy. You don't know what those sea conditions are going to be like. We already heard it from Landon saying it's going to be a little rough out there on the water. I don't know how big those ships are, but you're going to be out there on the water for like an hour, unless you're fishing also. That's it. Yeah, Tobot says, are they sure they're boating to Tinian? Yeah, I mean, that's what they said. Hey, Jack, great to see you. Thanks for tuning in. Great to see you this morning. Thanks so much. Yeah, so all that's happening this weekend, Pika Fest in Tinian. Should be an absolute blast. And, man, I have had some great trips over in Tinian for Pika Fest. And a lot of them involve beverages. You may have heard of them. They're called beer. It's like water, but it's got some bubbles in it. And it's got some calories. It's a little like grainy, maybe like they use something called hops for some of them. Yeah, anyway, it's good stuff. Be careful though. If you have too many of them, it makes you feel a little funny. But it goes great with everything over there at Pika. And all the food is so good. Pika Fest, if you haven't gone there, like all the contests are great. The fact that everybody's there is awesome because Tinian is just a great place anyway. And they get the whole support from the whole community, from the mayor's office on down, the delegation, everyone who's there. And all the people pull out all the stops to make sure you have a great time. They're happy you go there. And the food they make is awesome. And if you don't know anybody in Tinian, make that your mission. When you go there, just try to meet people. Introduce yourself. Not in a creepy way, like, hi, my name's Brad. No, go over there and just start meeting people. Buy them a beer or something. Make nice when you're buying the food from their stands, like the ribs are outstanding. And bring back some hot sauce. But like, get to know the people in Tinian, and your trip to Tinian is going to be so much better. I mean, Tinian Pika Fest is great on its own. When you get to meet the people there, you're going to forge a relationship with folks, hopefully, if you do it right. And you'll have friends to go back to all the time. It's an outstanding thing. And if you've only experienced Saipan, you are missing out. It's right across the water. It's right there, and it's worth the trip. It absolutely is. You can actually camp out there, too. Let's see. Ah, yes. Recognition of your exceptional creativity, dedication, design. Yes, I love it. All right. Saying thank you to somebody. Thank you. Looks great. Bam. All right. So somebody's helping us out with our Armed Forces Committee with the Chamber, and we're making a little certificate for them just to express our appreciation for them and everything. And that was it. So we're getting it all gussied up for them. Going to be cool. By the way, the Armed Forces Committee for the Saipan Chamber of Commerce, I get to go on all those ships that come here. Pretty cool. I think it's cool. And so I get to meet with the captains. I get to meet with all their senior staff, their senior non-coms, also non-commissioned officers. And why am I bringing that up? I'm bringing it up because if you're a member of the Saipan Chamber of Commerce, that means I can bring whatever specials or whatever regular offerings that you have to them directly. And so the best way to do that is to let us know at the Saipan Chamber of Commerce. Reach out to Chris, Jamie, or Ray and say, hey, I want Brad to tell them about this. And if you give us a digital version of that, I could put that right in their hands. I'm telling you, and even before they get here, we send this stuff out to them because that's what we do. The Saipan Chamber of Commerce, but this is the Armed Forces Committee for it. So I'm the chair for it. Have been for a couple of years, but I get to work with some awesome people. The people who are members of this committee are outstanding. They're so much fun to be with too. We have another meeting today, so if you're interested in being a part of it, we could do it. Yes, Luisa, you can. Yes, Luisa said, Brad, next time the ship comes in, if you need someone to hold your microphone, I'm your girl. Awesome, we could do that. Chuck, we're gonna have to get you a hat. We'll get you one of those hats from the ship too, so you could be checking out. But you should definitely go with us. Absolutely, that would be awesome. If you want to go, let me know next time the ship comes in, and we can make that happen. You've never been on a ship? Are you kidding? All right, so we could do it a couple of different ways. We could do it where we bring you for that, or you could bring the whole fam and get you a tour. And that's something else that we arrange too. You can go and tour those ships when they get here. But I just arrange it for people that I know, and people reach out to me. But if you're interested in doing it, you can reach out to me also, and I can help coordinate that too. And I don't need to be the middleman. You can literally go and do it yourself. But if I'm helping you out, if I'm putting you together with all that, then they usually give you a little fancier trip or something. The other one is, though, if you want to tour the ships, get ready to walk up and down a lot of steep stairs. That's just it. They're almost like ladders. So you're not going to be wearing open-toed shoes, and you don't wear a skirt for sure. Think pants or shorts and closed-toed shoes, right? You don't want to do heels on those things at all. Forget it. And that's pretty much it. Those are the real guidelines. You're going to have to go up some steep stairs. That's just it. Let's see what Tobot says. He says, I hope CHCC made the right choice, but they're so-called island specialist doctors. Hold on, I got to roll back up there. One sec. I do not agree with one of them, though. I do not want to see him again, and they turned me down because that's their choice, so I dropped it. I ain't getting, hold on, I got to scroll back up again. I ain't getting any damage from him. Oh, my gosh, I got to hear about this one. We're going to see the military plane. I was more excited than he was. Oh, well, maybe the ship's a little different. So a lot of the ships that come in, Louisa, we've had, the ships are awesome, and you get to go almost everywhere. One of the last ships that we know was a really modern ship, and we got to go into the war room, which is way different, like where they direct all the battle from. You think that might be like in the movies, they show you that's up on the bridge, right? No, that's where they're driving the ship. Where they're actually fighting the war as members of the ship is in the middle, like inside. And we got to go in there, and that was super cool. That was just part of it. And then we went through, and then they have like an air wing, like the bays. They have got a couple of helicopters in there too. So you get to check out the helicopters, you get to check out the weaponry, you get to check out where everybody eats and the bridge of the ship. And it's really pretty cool. Now your kids will be able to sit, and you can sit in the captain's chair, the XO's chair. You can sit out on the deck, and it's pretty awesome. I would definitely, so as an Army guy, I didn't get to do a whole lot of stuff on the Navy ships. So like I get geeked out when I get to see them all the time when they're out there. So I'm a fan of all that stuff. Were you able to take pictures in there? So we could take pictures just about everywhere except inside that war room. In fact, when we went in there, before we went in, everyone who had a camera or their phone with them, you had to leave them outside. And then we went in, checked it all out, and we went back out the same way we went in and picked up all our phones and cameras and stuff. So yeah, they definitely don't want cameras inside that room. They don't want everyone to say, hey, so that's how they do it. But again, the ship itself is outstanding. Every ship, even the same kind of ship, right? If you have two of the exact same kind of ships, each ship's a little different with like how they do it, the history of their ship, of their unit, and all that stuff. And it's a really cool thing to be a part of. So I'm a fan of that for sure. All right. Well, I mean, we're creeping up a bit to the end. I want to say thanks. So we did reach out to the guys from the Free Trade. They know that we're going to, so somebody put us in contact with them and provided them our contact. So I got it now. And they reached out and said that, hey, that we're going to be reaching out to them also. So hopefully we can get them in and hear more about it. So sound like a deal? Best I could do for you. That's the absolute best I could do, and we'll see how many of them we can get in here to talk about all that stuff. So I like it. I'm digging it. All right. What else? Oh, all right. There's only a couple of minutes left, and I thought this was an interesting story. It says the FBI said it discovered 2,400 new records related to the assassination of former President John F. Kennedy as federal agencies worked to comply with President Trump's executive order last month to release thousands of files. FBI said it's working to transfer the records to the National Archives and Records to be included in the declassification process. It said federal government in the early 90s mandated that all documents related to that assassination be housed in a single collection at the National Archives. And while the vast majority of the collection, which is over 5 million records, have been made public, researchers estimate that 3,000 files haven't been released, either in whole or in part. FBI said it did not say in its statement what kind of information the newly discovered files contain. FBI said that in 2020 it opened the Central Records Complex and began a years-long effort to ship electronically inventory and store closed case files from field offices across the country. The agency said that a more comprehensive records inventory, along with technological advances, allowed them to quickly search and locate records. Jefferson Moyley, the vice president of the Merrill Foundation, a repository for files related to the assassination, called the FBI's disclosure of the files refreshingly candid. It shows that the FBI is serious about being transparent, said Morley, who is the editor of JFK Facts blog. Guy probably has a better voice than that. Anyway, so that's an interesting story. I'm not going to read all the way down to the bottom, but it's available there for you at the Associated Press, so you can check that out. Checking you guys out. Yes. Hey, so tonight, Marlins and Blue Jays. The answer for me is maybe. So we're at a tough time with our VFW post, and tonight is the canteen meeting, and I was gonna go to that. And tomorrow night is the VFW meeting. Yes, tomorrow night. If you're not already a member of our VFW, now's the time to do it. We've got a meeting going on tomorrow, so we're gonna end up doing that for sure. Oh my gosh. You know, that is so funny. I probably have done that at least 10 times. There we go. That's the music I was going for. Case of the wrong button. All right, so baseball tonight. And last night was just a thumping. 21-6. My gosh, that is going to be wild. So tonight, Marlins and Blue Jays. It's playoff baseball with the Saipan Baseball League Masters Edition. And holy smokes, I'm looking at it right now. So tonight is the third seeded team against the sixth seeded team. So the Blue Jays are favored over the Marlins, but anything can happen. Tomorrow, another playoff game. It's the fourth and fifth teams. On Monday, the top seeded team's going to play against whoever wins tonight. And next Tuesday, it's going to be the second seeded team who's going to play whoever wins tomorrow. So that's what's going up. So the Pirates are going to play whoever wins tonight. And after that thumping the other night, that's it. So now you know what's going on. All right, guys. That's what I've got for you for today's show. Ooh. And we're going to join this meeting. It's the Advisory Committee on U.S. Outlying Islands and Freely Associated States. It's a public meeting with the VA. So I'm going to hop in on that, and I'm not going to stream it, although, maybe. Well, Luisa, we'll find out tonight. We'll check out what you do with that one tonight. All right, I think I'm gonna hop into this meeting and call it a night, call it a day for you guys. Anyway, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for showing up. Thanks for showing out. And we'll see you for baseball tonight. Thanks for watching us this morning and every morning. Have a great day, Marianas. Hope today's your best so far. Take care.
Good morning, Marianas. So many things we gotta discuss. Happy day, Tirawamian greetings. To Rhoda, Guam, Saipan, and Tinian. For all your island news. From a beautiful place with Pacific views. It's always so much fun on Good Morning, Marianas.